So I'm a felon in Florida, and it's not a great place to be.
What sort of did you end up going in for?
I actually am a felon first.
Holy shit.
I was found guilty. I don't consider myself guilty.
Gia, how the hell are you doing?
I'm so great. I'm always great.
It's good to hear. That's an impossible thing to do in modern life, to always be great shit.
It is, but it's like a perception thing, I would say. I make the most out of everything, and I just have to enjoy life. You kind of have to enjoy life.
Well, I agree. And good on you for being able to, just keep that perception, because not easy for everyone, especially all the shit that's going on.
Oh my goodness, it's so bad. I don't even want to get on Twitter.
I spent a good chunk of my day there today. It was just like, this week in the industry has been a shit show after a shit show.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually saw one tweet and it was like, please don't let them shut us down. And I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be the next step, guys. Keep it going.
I don't think it'll ever actually be shut down. The industry may end up going back underground.
Yeah, definitely. But it would never stop. Porn will always exist.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, people don't seem to really realize that, like, it's only been like a legitimate industry in the last 40 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just now getting to be a thing, and there's still lots of things in the industry that we're like accomplishing every day. You know what I mean? Like, women are kind of have that voice a lot more now, and I'm happy to see.
Because you look at like the early days of the industry, not that I was around for them, but from what I've been led to believe, shit was being run by like gangsters and pimps.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. More than likely.
Definitely in the early days, is very much like the mob controlled a lot of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like, it's awesome that, the performers are getting more and more agency. It's just, the problem overall is like, because so many people cycle in and out of the industry, it's short memories, and a lot of people really aren't looking to put their necks out to like support the industry as a whole.
Yeah. We definitely need some unification in the industry, and that's kind of my purpose here. That's kind of what I do.
So how do you think we're going to get that unity?
I really think everything kind of starts small. And it starts by, hey, just me, going on Twitter, and I take a point to just take some time of the day to go on Twitter, whether I don't want to go on there or not, because it sucks. And I go on there, and I want to at least respond to a couple of things, especially because there's a lot of negativity, a lot of those, a lot of those posts, and I don't get any feedback. I don't get a like or none of that stuff, and I don't really care. But at least that person was able to read that and be like, maybe smile. Maybe I got a smile out of them, but I don't know. But I do that, and I bring it around with me. I bring the positive energy around with me everywhere I go, and I create events. I throw events. They're called Gia Land, and they're fun.
Well, tell me about them.
So Gia Land first started in 2020. I want to say, wait, was it 2021? Was the first one, and it's basically a shoe house, but it's an all girls shoe house. Because being in the industry for the past 4 years, first getting in, these people, they're these shoe houses, these men, they're these shoe houses, and then you go there and you're basically having sex the whole entire time. You're getting fucked the whole time. Can I cuss on you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah. No, literally, like, the only real rules of the show is please don't cause me post-production work.
Okay, cool.
Or break my set.
All right, sounds good.
Anything else, whatever.
All right, awesome, cool. So now I know I'm not like, okay.
Oh yeah, no, this is not a place where you have to be like, so I had sexual intercourse with many men in this shoot house. They performed cunnilingus on me.
I'm not gonna lie. And I feel bad, but I had an older woman tell me today while I was sitting at the rental spot. She told me to watch my mouth because there were kids around.
Oh my God. That's the worst thing kids are going to be fucking introduced to is you saying fuck or
That's what I was saying. I was like, well, I'm getting them prepared for the world. I don't know what you want me to say.
how about you do your job as a parent and tell that child that's not appropriate language.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a good way to do it. Exactly.
Right. Like use it as a teachable moment instead of trying to teach your children that like you have control over strangers. That if a stranger does something that you don't agree with, it's your responsibility to tell them not to do it.
Yeah, that's kind of it was rude, you know. Usually I would probably, say something back slick, but I was tired.
You should just turn to the kids and be like, your mom's a cunt.
No.
Why not?
Definitely not, because if that was me, well, I would have never said anything to somebody anyways. But if that was me, I probably would have gotten in a fight at that point.
You got hands? You out here fighting people?
I used to. I used to. I used to get locked up for, battery and things.
Oh shit.
I have a background.
Obviously.
So it sucks. It's the price you pay, but it's now really, difficult just to like do anything now. I'm a felon, so and in Florida. So I'm a felon in Florida, and it's not a great place to be.
No, because your record's just there for anyone to see.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking of fleeing out west.
You don't mind talking about like what sort of shit did you end up like going in for?
Okay. So I never got charged with any batteries. I was actually in an abusive relationship. I was married at 17. So I was in an abusive relationship, and he would just get in my face and like not let me leave and just keep going and going. And he put his hands on me, and I put my hands back on him. Mind you, this is a big man, over 6 feet. But I'm not a little bitch. So I finally got tired of it, and I put my hands back on him, and he called the cops on me, and I was taken away. And I found out I was pregnant. So that was not a good time for me, but I actually am a felon for sales of hallucinogens. And I was found guilty. I don't consider myself guilty, but
Guilty in the eyes of the law.
guilty in the eyes of the law.
So what kind of hallucinogens? Mushrooms, acid?
So it was LSD. I was set up, and I ended up serving some LSD, but I actually was growing mushrooms at the time. I was living in New Mexico, Taos, and I was growing mushrooms. And it's something that I've never really stopped loving, because I actually go to school right now for psychology, and I'm transferring to psychedelic therapy. So that's kind of my thing.
It's so wild. It's like, oh, what I have a felony on my fucking record for, pretty soon in a lot of the states is just gonna be A-okay.
Well, that's my thing. I'm stubborn, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. That's my thing. It's my right, and I have freedom, and I feel like that's my freedom is. I'm gonna do what I want. And so yeah, if I believe that this is right, which I do, I believe that it changed my life, and it made me better, and it got me off drugs. And so I'm a very huge advocate for it. And so instead of me, letting the law kind of push me into a corner and make me think that I, can't do what I want to do, I'm going to go do it legally.
Oh yeah. Fucking help people.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do. But I don't do it in the eyes of like society, the right professional way, but that's where I'm going. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely.
Well, at the end of the day, society is a malleable thing.
It is.
Think about 20 years ago how like bad marijuana was like everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's something that I was fighting for my right to smoke weed when I was a young girl. And actually the first time that my parents caught me smoking weed, I had to write an essay as to why I should be allowed to smoke weed. And I wrote one hell of a fucking essay. And I've been smoking weed ever since.
And more power too. It's one of those things where like I'm very much a proponent of like as long as you're not harming other people, it's your fucking body. Put whatever the fuck you want in it.
Mm-hmm. And I also very much believe the fact is like, well, people are gonna do what they want to do.
Exactly.
But making things harder to get to or reach, it doesn't necessarily make it better. Although people think it does, it's making it harder because these people are gonna go do whatever they want to do to get these things.
Well, and in all honesty, a lot of times it makes it worse because, like,
Yeah, it makes it worse.
especially here in LA, there's a lot of fentanyl overdoses
Yeah.
for people doing coke.
It's sad.
And if like coke was legal and
We could
readily
get it,
available,
you know, yeah, we could get it from somewhere.
it would be safe.
Mhm.
And as long as you're not harming anyone, who gives a fuck?
That's always what, and that's what I work for. One day I will be on a board or have that voice to where I can be like, hey, like we need these clinics available to teach people how to use them safely, where to get clean, you know, needles and clean drugs and stuff like that. Because I personally don't believe necessarily in like overdoses. I know, because I feel like overdose is like having too much of a drug. But and I don't believe that's possible. But there is a thing where, you know, if you mix certain things and, you know.
I disagree on that, but the reason I disagree is like, it's when you overdose, it's like, you don't know that this bag is the same percentage of the drug.
This is true. This is true because,
like,
you know, it's cut.
Yeah, because how it's cut. So it's like, oh, well, I could normally handle this high.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit, this wasn't cut.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it wasn't cut, then, you know, you would know what it was and you would be that high and regular. But it was a mix of the drug and you doing something completely different that you didn't know, and that's why you die.
Yeah.
And that was my thing was well, what was it? That, you know, Dare back in the day, you know. And they had that one movie where it was like, oh, the kid ate LSD and jumped off the roof or something. And like I was like, what? You're telling me this drug made this guy think he could defy gravity? That doesn't make any fucking sense. And that was like my first time ever being like, hey, you know, like that's something that I want to try.
Well, yeah, and Dare did so much to promote like this might be fun.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
This might be a good time. And the thing about it is like, oh my God, Billy jumped off the roof because he thought he could fly for taking LSD one time. That is what we call anecdotal evidence.
Yeah.
Like, there's no peer review here. There's not 100 people with controls all taking fucking LSD at that point and being like, did they all jump off the roof? Did 85% of them jump off the roof? No, one asshole jumped off the roof.
I love LSD, and I've done a lot of research on it. And I know that more than likely it wasn't made illegal because it was dangerous for us. It was made illegal because they don't want our minds open. You know, they want to be able to control us. And so, you know, it originally was for the army, and, you know, especially if they had given it to the army, they wouldn't have been able to really have it last very long.
I mean, a lot of the prohibitions are just about control or suppressing, like, you know, minority groups, shit like that. It's like a lot of the DEA shit that wasn't put in place by Nixon was there to suppress, you know, African Americans and hippies.
Yep. And that's kind of why I do what I do and try to get my degree, is because I do have a story. I'm minority, and it's been really hard to get the mental health care that is proper for what I need, and I had to go out and find it myself. And I did. And they almost, you know, put me in prison for it. And that's not cool, man.
No. Nobody wants to fucking go to prison. With the felony, did you do any time or was it all probation?
I did time. I did time. I was gone for a year, and they had me do work release. Then I was sent back. I'd ended up growing weed out in Mattawa, Washington afterwards. And so like that was me absconding. And then I was caught in Vegas, so they had sent me back. And that was when I like really thought I was going to prison then. Took my dreads out and everything. I had dreads. Took them out. I was like, they're not going to cut these. If I'm going to put them out, I'm going to take them out. And so, yeah. But they didn't. They gave me a chance. And I believe why I didn't go to prison is because of Krishna. And that's when I became like a devotee and became, spiritual in my faith. So
How did you discover Krishna?
I'm from like Alachua, Florida,
Okay.
and there's a temple there. It's a Hare Krishna temple, and so I was always around devotees and stuff like that. I was actually raised Mormon, so I was always like religious and strict religious. But once I went to high school, I got to see a lot of them, and I became friends with them, and it was just something that it just kept Krishna just kept popping up and popping up. Like it just Krishna didn't leave. And I'm just like, well, there's a reason for that. And I did my education. I actually was when I was locked up, I was put in the box, so I couldn't do anything but read. And I got the Bhagavad Gita and I read it twice. And when I got out, I did what I needed to do and devoted myself. It was hard because obviously what I do for work is not allowed. And not it's not that it's not allowed, but it's just like there's rules, and having sex or on unwedded sex and things like that are usually not fond of
Well, in
by
most organized religions.
by religion. So I never felt like I was accepted. It took me a long time to get my Tulsi beads. That's what I wear around my neck. Just because I didn't fully believe that I was like worthy enough of them. But finally, I was like, you know what, I am. I am my own missionary in a way. I bring Krishna consciousness everywhere I go. People are like, what is this? Or what are these? And so I talk about it. A lot of people don't know. One day I will probably. I'm trying, but I'm trying to open up a temple actually in Vegas.
Nice.
That would be cool.
So how does it make you feel to like be part of a religion that doesn't necessarily approve of your lifestyle?
It's not necessarily religion. It's actually transcendentalism because it's the science of self realization, basically. And it just teaches you that, hey, like you're not this body, you're actually a soul. And you're a soul inside this body. And everything in this world is material. And I especially after leaving the Mormon church, I wasn't religious. I did not care about finding a new religion. But just the literature grabbed me so well, and it was just like, well, this is common sense. Like, I like this, and that's why I read it a couple of times, and it stuck. So, but I love it. My kids don't believe in it, and my kids will still eat their burgers and things like that, and they'll go to the temple with me sometimes though, and it's cool.
That's awesome. So, like, what do your kids believe?
They believe in God. They believe in God, because they've gone to church with their father or, their grandmother.
Gotcha. So, like, they believe in the Christian God.
Yeah, they believe in the Christian God. Um, they're open to learning about it because I'm actually a very, like, cool mom. I like to be real down to earth with them and, "Hey, like, there's this religion, this religion, this religion, like, learn it all. Like, pick which one you like."
If you're going to do religion, that's how it should be because, statistically, you end up with the religion in the area you were born in.
Mhm. That's exactly what it is.
It's like, how is this the one true God? But it's only the one true God if you were born in this place.
Well, and that's the thing. I wanted to be a missionary when I was a little girl, and that I loved the church, but how they treated me and how they made me feel unwelcome, and it just it made me feel like unaccepted, and I didn't wanna be there anymore because I was like, well, how could they make me feel this way when they claim to be this? And I had some childhood trauma, and it wasn't that they didn't help me because I didn't come out about it, but they made it uncomfortable for me to come out about it, they made me feel a certain way about it, and I was just like, "Well, this is not okay." So I left. That was the day that my mom kicked me out the house was when I told her, "Hey, I don't believe in the church anymore." And I was like, "Well, damn, I should have did that sooner."
I mean, that's so fucked. It's like, the teachings are of these religions are supposed to be like fucking love thy neighbor, love, like there's supposed to be so much love involved in it, but like the minute you don't blindly accept their tenets. Like fuck you, you're out.
Yeah, it sucks. It's a stigma. It's stupid. Doesn't make sense, but there's a lot of those in life.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of judgmental people in this world.
There is.
In my youth, I was definitely much more judgmental than I am now, but it's like, these days, it's like, why would I give a fuck? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I going to spend my time and my energy giving a fuck what you do?
I think society and especially the media, thank you, media, and entertainment, really made it easy for people to kind of put their energy into things that really don't matter. And yeah, media did a good job on that. You know, there's some people that I'm not fond of, especially the YouTube person, because you know, me having kids, they're always on YouTube. You know, I hate it. I completely hate it.
It's
Maybe I can utilize it and make a bag off them.
right.
Get my YouTube going.
Make that money. Why not? Why the fuck not?
Might as well, right?
Well, and unfortunately, society needs people to be distracted because otherwise they may actually, try to give a fuck about things that actually matter.
Exactly. They're trying to deter people away from the actual real problems.
Need you a little closer to the mic. That's what I was trying.
Okay. Sorry. But yeah, they actually try to deter people away from the actual real problems, which is very, very obvious.
Yeah. And it's just like why the price of televisions consistently go down while the price of everything else goes up.
It's interesting because you're talking to somebody who wakes up every day and is like, I'm gonna rule the world one day. And I'm gonna change all that. That's my aim. Every single day I'm like, you know what, this has gotta stop. I'm changing it. And not for me. That's what Lovely Legacies means. I own Lovely Legacies. And I am basically passing my legacy on. And one day I'm not gonna be here. I have gotten in a bad car accident and lost my life. I was in a coma for a month and a half.
Holy shit.
And that was back in 2021, right after my first event. And ever since then, I got a wake up call. I got a wake up call and was like, hey, stop fucking around and get to work.
So tell me more about Lovely Legacies.
So Lovely Legacies, I actually made it while I was locked up. And it's cool to like look back now and I was like, hey, I made that and I've made it happen and it's going good. It's a whole brand. And Lovely Legacies is basically a collective of people that come together. It was first a sisterhood, but now I'm joining forces with everybody because I do believe that we need to unify together. We've separated way too much, females and males. And so it's a collective of people that I kind of help take their craft, whatever they love to do, and learn how to make money off of that. So they're not pushed into certain predicaments to do things they don't want to do. And while they do that, I also help them reach into those childhood memories and that trauma that they hold, because using your art form is a really great way to release those things. And so I basically teach people how to kind of do what I did for myself. And it's cool. I have a contract now, and I don't consider myself a manager because I'm not trying to manage y'all. I have 6 kids.
6 kids?
I have 6 kids.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm a single mom of 6 kids. I don't believe in. I condone it if you condone it, but I personally don't condone abortions or Plan B or any of that stuff. The birth control. I don't take pills. I don't like Tylenol. I don't do pharmaceuticals. I'm a holistic person.
See, my thought on all that is like, it depends if someone's willing to put in the work or not. Like,
yeah, it is.
If y'all aren't ready to be parents and you're going to bring someone into this world and do a shit job of it, don't bring someone into this.
Don't do it. Mm-hmm.
That's really where I'm at with it. Like,
and that's basically what it was. So I, believe it or not, never wanted children. Never wanted a child. I wanted to go travel the world and be a National Geographic photographer. And when I got with my husband, I actually married him because that was what my parents wanted me to do in order to get back to the church.
So he was a Mormon too?
Yeah, he wasn't, but my parents were Mormon, and that's why they were like.
But they were okay with you marrying a non-Mormon?
Yeah, because he got me pregnant.
Oh.
And they don't believe in abortion. So my mom was like, keep the baby, get married. He's coming to church, basically. And so that happened, and I got pregnant every year after that. And he kept me pregnant. And it was a hard relationship. It was a very abusive relationship between us, even after the divorce, for like 5-6 years. And we're cordial now. We co-parent now, and that was probably one of the most liberating things for me. But yeah, I got 6 kids. They're freaking awesome. And pretty soon I'm gonna be laying back, and they're gonna be taking care of me.
Well, that's the goal. I mean, shit.
Yeah, it is.
Have you ever thought about having any more? Or?
I want 9.
You want 9?
I want 9 children.
You want a full baseball team?
I do. I do. Maybe we'll have a whole music team and all that stuff. They all have their little like thing that they're good at, and their little lane that they go to. And I know, I teach some resilient kids ready for the world, and they don't, I've taught them, my boys, because I have 5 boys and 1 girl, and I teach them not to sexualize women, no disrespect, just a lot of stuff, and it's hard because they're not. I have 1 kid with ADHD and different things, and I don't let them take those meds. I don't. I'm tough. And that's why it's funny when I have people come at me on the on the internet and they think I'm gonna care. I'm just like, yeah, and I have like a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old and younger that just deal with me every day, and because they're strength. But y'all are some weak people, I tell you what.
Why the fuck would you be bothered by the opinion of some stranger on the internet?
Hey, they get to some people. It's funny. They get to some people.
Well, because I feel like a lot of those people, it's a natural reaction when like someone comes for you that you want to be defensive. You want to fucking, lash back out at them.
Hey, it's free promotion.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's why I engage with them. I fight with them all the time because it's all for engagement. Like if they were to DM slide me and keep fighting, I'd just ignore the DMs. No. This is for engagement. Fighting with you in my DMs doesn't drive engagement. If this was on someone else's post, I wouldn't engage with you.
Yeah.
Doesn't drive my engagement.
My thing is I'm a blocker.
See, I don't.
Like I'm well, see, on media I'm not. But as far as like phones, if we're texting and I'm upset with you, I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to say some things really, really mean at the moment, so I'll block you.
Well, see, that's a different story because that's someone you know in real life.
Yeah, like, that's true.
That even if it's just an acquaintance, that's someone you know in real life. Like internet people,
yeah,
versus real life people.
They're not the same.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of people I block in real life. There's plenty of people where it's just like, yeah, this is harmful for me to like continue to communicate.
Continue this friendship, relationship, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. Like, yeah, I need to fucking be mature and walk the fuck away from it.
Yeah.
But internet people? No.
And that's the thing. That's kind of what becoming Hare Krishna helped me with, is to realize how temporary relationships with people are. And it sucks, but including your family, including your loved ones, because at the end of the day, when you die, you're going to die alone. Plain and simple.
Oh yeah, everyone dies alone.
Yeah.
Everyone's born alone and they die alone.
Yeah. And then because I believe in reincarnation and multiple lives. And your next life, you're not going to be in the same family. You're going to be in a different family. So it's like if they're detrimental to you and they're hurting you, let them go.
Wholeheartedly agree. I'm a big proponent of the family you should have is the family you choose.
Exactly. And that's what Lovely Legacies is it's a family. And it's cool because is international, and it's like, hey, like if you're somewhere and there's somebody over there, hit them up. If you need a vent, if you need to talk, if you need a hug, if you need a smoke, hit them up, and that's what it's there for. You know what I mean? Because I was after my divorce, I ended up leaving home because I was really bad on drugs, and I was even doing heroin, and I told my mom, hey, like let me sign this and have you watch my kids while I go get clean, and I went and it took me a few years, and then even then, like I was doing stupid shit, but
What sort of stupid shit?
I was that's when I was doing my sales and things like that. Um, but I went and I got clean, and LSD did help me, but I was alone. I'm a gypsy. That's what I consider myself. I'm not a thief. I don't steal. I know there's that stigma,
Yeah.
but I travel. Um, if with nothing on me, I will. It's funny because I'm the type of person who will have like so many things with me at all times just in case I need it.
And it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly. And if somebody else needs something, I'm there to provide.
So what is your day-to-day like?
So I wake up early, like 5.
Gross.
5 a.m.
Gross.
Gross? Why is it too early for you?
Oh, I'm generally not going to bed till about 4. So
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Hey, some days I would do the same thing, and that's what acid is for. It's my Adderall. LSD, great Adderall.
see, I do enjoy acid. My beef with acid is like this is a commitment. This
It's
is
a commitment because it's long, right?
right. Like I fuck with shrooms all the time.
See, shrooms are so different for me because it's like so much more of like, okay, LSD and shrooms are two complete different highs. All right, one's a body high and one's a mental high. And that's why I like the LSD thing, because I felt like it was like, let's get on LSD because it opens your mind and you're now receptive to like everything instead of just like the blinders. Like your blinders are now off. Okay? And everything is just so much more like sparkly and nice and shiny.
Yeah, I find that I get that with a large enough dose of shrooms.
But I just want to lay in the grass when I'm on shrooms. I don't want to do anything. With acid, like I can do things, and it's just like, hey, I'm gonna take this acid and I'm gonna go do all this. And so now I'm like a pro at doing all this because I've done it on acid, so I can do it in regular day life all the time. That's kind of my thought process.
Hey, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong. As I said, like my only real beef with acid is like this is my day today.
Yeah, 8 hours.
8 to 12 sometimes.
And then you need that nap.
Yep.
But I'm the type of person who would, like, if I have to get up early in the morning, I got a flight or something, I'll take it before I go to sleep, and I'll go to sleep, and I'll wake up because now I'm peaking and now I'm awake, and that's when I'm like, okay, now it's time to do stuff, and so that's why I call it my Adderall. I'll utilize it microdosing. There's actually research that I've done, and microdosing is very, very good. MDMA is really good as well. I've never been a roller, so
not my jam either.
I don't like it.
Like the dopamine depletion afterwards is so fucking rough.
And then I want to say shrooms. Psilocybin is really good, especially lion's mane. I actually want to start growing some lion's mane. And then also ketamine. Ketamine was a huge thing. I want to say I wasn't addicted to ketamine, but I was abusing it.
Okay.
I abused it for some time, and that was definitely probably one of the things that held me back for some time. And I don't ever know why it was kind of like my thing, and that's kind of why I started being like, hey, let me do my research and let me go into this field of study, and it was something that I was drawn to for my PTSD. I just got anxiety after my car accident. So it was mainly my PTSD that I was really doing it for, and I had to start learning, why I was using it, and that's one of the biggest things for me is like, even when I smoke weed, I don't get high on weed. Why? Because I'm not smoking it to get high. You know what I mean? Like it's helping me. So intention is everything, and so I learned that, and I stopped doing it. Now I'm actually prescribed little K lozenges that I take.
I didn't know they came in lozenges.
Yeah, there's it's called Joyous, and for anybody that's interested in checking it out, it really really helped me, and I'm very happy to know that I only need like 180 milligrams a day to be like functional. I only take 100 milligrams a day, and it's helped me a lot. It has, and it's gotten me very far. I'm back in the industry. I took a little break, and yeah, I'm going for the stars.
That's all you can do. I mean, shit. It's the one life, you know. Why the fuck lay back in the cut and hope that things are going to happen for you and make shit happen?
Definitely. I'm actually hoping that this is definitely my last life, because I'm ready to go home. This is not our home, so.
The only home I know.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people are like, "You're fucking crazy," you know, what's these drugs have done to you and stuff like that. But I do fully believe that I am an angel. A lot of us are angels, and we're fallen angels, and we've come from different solar systems in the universe, and we asked to be here, and we came here, and unfortunately over time we kind of let the world get crazy and amok, and we got to fix it. And that's our job. So
Holy shit, if Earth was the choice, what were the other choices? Fuck.
yeah,
The other one's got to be pretty fucking bad. If it's like, yeah, that's the spot.
Yeah, no, Earth is beautiful. I love Mother Earth. You know, that's one of my favorite things. You know, I gotta at least say hi to a tree and hug it every day. Because yeah, you can call me a tree hugger, but it's something that it's like you need to kind of like take the time for Mother Earth, because Mother Earth is very abundant in providing all of these resources for you and all of these things for you to survive. Plain and simple.
Well, yeah, but we as a species have kind of overstayed our welcome a little bit.
It's exactly. And so it's definitely time for us to kind of like get it together, for sure. There's a spiritual warfare going on right now.
What do you mean?
There's a spiritual warfare right now going on. The light against the dark right now. The light, you know, because a lot of people are starting to, you know, hey, shrooms are getting legal. They're starting to tap into that third eye and start opening up and realizing, hey, like things aren't what they've been claimed to be and what we've been told. And they're starting to realize, hey, like I'm really not who they say I am, what's really going on. And there, you know, there are other forces, there are other things in this on this world. I personally don't believe that. So, you know, movies are a type of art, you know,
100%.
it's a type of way for these people that have had these visions, these great visions, to tell us, to teach us things, because I personally don't believe that this person could even have or fathom the idea of what they just created if they've never seen it before. And if we've never seen it before, we had to see it somewhere, whether it was in this dimension or the next dimension. Like, what's that movie called? Doctor Strange.
Okay.
You know, there's just movies. What was it? Free Guy. I woke up from my car accident and I saw Free Guy and I was like, like what? They came out with this like while I was asleep. But yeah, like so that's what do they call these people? Conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
People could call me a conspiracy theorist, but I believe that I'm 100% correct.
I think most conspiracy theorists do.
I guess you're right.
I mean, I don't think most people are out there propagating conspiracy theories. And like, yeah, I'm just full of shit. Well, though that was Alex Jones's defense on some shit. He's just like, I'm acting.
That's hilarious. I actually haven't seen him pop up in a while.
Yeah, I think he's keeping a lower profile since they got $1 billion judgment against him.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, the survivors of the Sandy Hook, like the families, got $1 billion judgment against him.
Jeez, yeah, hey, that's what happens. That's what you get.
Yeah, if someone's coming after me for $1 billion, yeah, I'd keep it a fucking low profile too.
Yeah, seriously, that's a lot of money. a lot of money.
Just a little.
I don't know. I go through money pretty quickly.
I would wager to believe you have not gone through nearly $1 billion.
I haven't, but it'll be soon that I probably will.
What would you do with $1 billion if you had it?
I actually plan on getting land, and it'll be multiple places because I kind of want this available. I actually just opened up. I just started my nonprofit, called Wife, and it's called Wife for Women in Full Effect, and we're basically a group that we want to start providing the education to women on how to be safe, how to prevent sex trafficking, how to prevent certain situations, like content partners, just different things. We don't have any of that education anywhere for our young women. And I'm not gonna say it just happens to young women because it doesn't. There was a whole trafficking ring in Miami that was just busted. And now, like me, my friend is a part of, the investigation and stuff like that because he was onto it and he told somebody. And so we've come together as victims and survivors, really, of that because I have been sex trafficked before, and it's still going on to this day. It's been going on for a long time. Hey, like Diddy was just freaking caught, and
No one pressed any charges against him though yet.
look, because they want people to think that they're doing something. They want people to think that. But this has been going on for a long, long time. And until we find those motherfuckers and kill them, they ain't gonna stop.
Well, I agree, but everyone is due their day in court. I'd still like to think that we're innocent until proven guilty. I personally don't think he's innocent, but I'd like to see it actually proved in court.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. I personally, I mean, it's none of my business. You know what I mean? Like I got so much going on right here that I can change. That it's like I don't even listen to Diddy anymore. But like those were some days. Diddy made some hits, but it is what it is. He doesn't do anything for me.
Well,
So,
I'm curious, what's your thoughts on the artist versus the art? Unfortunately, in this world, a lot of monsters have made some really good art.
He's an asshole. I personally never was really a Diddy fan. I'm more of a Kanye West fan than a Diddy fan, honestly.
Well, Kanye's an asshole.
But Kanye is a fucking asshole too, but like he's a real asshole. But yeah, at least he's not fake.
Like Notorious B.I.G., that is directly because of Diddy.
Okay. Yeah, this is true. This is true. But is it because of Diddy?
Oh yeah. I mean, Bad Boy put out.
It is because of Diddy. But at the same time, I appreciate Notorious B.I.G. because of the art. You know what I mean?
Right, but that's where I'm getting at with the where do you stand with the artist and the art? Because it's like, well, if it wasn't for Diddy, who is quickly proving himself, hell, by the time this released, there will probably be charges filed at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Without him, Notorious B.I.G., at least as our current timeline, never gets released. He never makes so without Diddy, that art would have never come into mainstream existence.
I mean, if you think Diddy wasn't there, you don't think anybody else would have signed him?
Someone might have, but we don't.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah,
but
all woulda, coulda, shoulda.
That's true. But I wouldn't. I don't know if I would give. I don't think I would give Diddy even that. I wouldn't give him that medal. I wouldn't give it to him. Like he was just doing his job, and why was he doing his job? He just did it for the money. He didn't care.
Well, yeah.
He didn't care about him. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like I think. I mean, everything happens for a reason, which is why I actually do a really good job at overcoming certain situations and dealing with a shit day. And I'm just like, still have a fucking smile on my face. People are like, "Yo, are you high?" I'm like, "No, I'm high on life." But it's definitely a perception thing for sure. Like it's like I don't know. I was always a Notorious B.I.G. Actually, I want to say that was like a nickname for me in middle school was Notorious B.I.G. just because like there was a party and I had this shirt on and I think the cops had come or something and they were like, "Yo, where's where's that girl with that shirt, the Notorious B.I.G. shirt? And then they started calling me that. I was on the roof. The stars were nice. But yeah, so
well, I want to rewind it a little bit. Like, so you're talking about like you're helping to educate. I'm assuming, well, newer and veteran,
yeah, because it still happens to veterans. Hey, I literally just had to fly a girl from Spain yesterday. Actually, I flew her from Spain because from Sexy Jobs she had got an offer to go to this model house in Spain, and whoever won this competition.
Oh yeah, that shit. I heard about that shit.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I found out about it because of the gentleman that posted about it. And then when I saw her post something about it, I'm just like, hold up, let me actually now pay attention because this is somebody that I know. And it's a woman, and I'm gonna do something about it. If she doesn't have a way, and she was like, yeah, well, I have a client that is telling me he'll fly me out if I go see him and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, do you want to? I was like, well, do you want to go see him? Because you don't have to. You know what I mean? Like, don't do certain things because you think you have to. And that's where I come in. You know what I mean? And that's why I create the shoot houses, a safe space. And you don't even have to go there and shoot porn. You know what I mean? It's any kind of content. You can create whatever kind of art that you want to do. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that makes you feel good. You know, we cuddle puddle. We do everything. In Miami, I threw one in Miami, and the girls, they shot a music video. We have a music video
Nice.
out. And so, yeah, I do lots of things. We do lots of different things. I can actually show you the flyer. It's pretty dope. I haven't dropped it yet. I'm gonna drop it tonight.
Hell yeah. Well,
I'll show you later.
What sort of education would you like lay down on people? Like, what are the ethics you're teaching?
Certain things to look for in dealing with someone, to know, like, hey, this is a predator. You know what I mean? Like, don't further this conversation. Ways to get out. You know what I mean?
Like, so give me some examples. Like,
okay, give you some examples. All right. So as far as like knowing that this could potentially be somebody that's about to, hey, like you need to work now and you can't leave. Get references. That's the first thing that these girls need to know. Get references, because there was a guy that was blacklisted from the industry because he was sexually assaulting women and these girls, and he was pretty poppin' for a while, and his name was Heaven POV, and so he ended up getting blacklisted finally, and that was actually, it was crazy because that was somebody that was like always getting, girls were always going and working with him, but because none of these girls came out, these like higher professional mainstream artists, they didn't come out about it, these girls kept working with him.
Well, and like I personally know some people that like were like had good experiences with him, mm-hmm. So they were.
And that's the thing. Is that's what I'm trying to get at, is just because somebody had a good experience with him doesn't mean that they're gonna give you a good experience, because a lot of these times these men are going to test you. They're going to test you, and they're going to try you, and they're going to see how much they can get away with you. And that's the whole industry, okay? Because there's lots of these girls that go to these shoot houses, and they're giving their content, they're getting used up, and they're getting these people content that, they don't have to book these girls anymore. You know what I mean? Like, now they're getting free content, and, they're getting all this money, and it's just like, I even started doing lifestyle parties for girls that wanted to do that and make some money. And, I made it fun. I'm not making it hard for these girls and they're just getting, gang banged and worn out and sledded out and all that stuff. No, like, we make it fun. They're getting worshipped. These guys are on their time. They don't want to do something. They don't have to. They can just be there. Participate if you want to participate. But I make it fun. I make people safe. I make people comfortable. I'm kind of like that mama in the industry. So it's like, get references, and get multiple ones, because maybe one person will have a different one than the other.
How do you verify your references when like some people are like, I had a great experience there. It was a great shoot. I had a great experience. And then another person's like, that person is a giant piece of shit.
For me, if one person had a bad experience with him, you're cut off.
Okay.
You're cut off, because at the end of the day, people need to realize, and it sucks because you did say earlier, I believe people are innocent until proven guilty. All right, but it sucks, but this is a hard truth. Women, if a woman is gonna say, "Hey, this man did something to me," and she's claiming assault, you need to believe her.
Well, I agree, and like it's better safe than sorry.
Exactly.
Like there's definitely a difference between like I'm going to publicly crucify this person and I'm just not going to work with them.
There you go. That's a great topic. That's a great topic, because I actually had this girl trying to crucify my friend, who was in the EDM industry, the music industry, and it's crazy because the girls got really, really big on it for some time, where, the DJ ended up touching this girl inappropriately, or she was high on drugs and they were sleeping, just different things. And now this DJ is not a DJ anymore, because he was just straight fucking crucified and ran through the mud. And it's like, it's cool. And the same thing with this Heaven POV guy. He assaulted me. And I actually was the first person that came up about it.
That.
And it sucks. It is sorry. But I've been through stuff like that before. So
doesn't mean you need to go through it again.
No, exactly. And I didn't. But I warned people, and unfortunately, girls didn't listen to me. And there were certain girls that did, and there was girls that ended up coming out and were like, "Hey, I couldn't have came out if it wasn't for you." And so I did my justice, but I didn't crucify him. Okay, I did what I needed to do to warn girls. I didn't crucify him. It was beyond what I could do. We are trying to start a show about it. Actually a couple of the girls, and we are trying to do that so it can be more so educated. But I want him to go get help. That's what I want. A lot of these guys are getting put in prison and doing these things, and they need help, because more than likely they're doing what they're doing to you because something was done to them. And that's me as a psychologist. I actually another one was Ron Jeremy. Ron Jeremy is, in prison now, and he's, ending his life there. And I was actually sexually assaulted by Ron Jeremy back in 2015. And
unfortunately, everyone was.
Everyone was.
It's like the worst. It was like the worst fucking kept secret.
And that was actually the first time that I ever went to AVN. I was not Gia Lov3ly. I was Mary Jane, and I was living in Vegas at the time, and I was young. I was 21, and that's why I didn't actually continue. I got out, and then I ended up coming back later when I was more mature, and I a different name, rebranded myself and everything. But yeah, like. And even with the money thing, like they were giving out money to these people and stuff like that. And yeah, I understand. Like it's nice to like utilize and get something in return for that, but you can't get anything from that. But like what you do for yourself, like yourself has got to overcome that. Yourself has got to overcome that, and that's kind of why I kind of took my break from the industry. Was after that happened, and nobody really, cared or believed me.
In 2015, people were definitely turning a blind eye to what Ron did.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely blind to it, and it was crazy to finally see something happen about it, And when they were like, "Oh, if this happened to you, go get money and all this, you could possibly get some money from it." I'm like, I don't want that money.
But it wasn't until like Ron was inappropriate with civilians that.
Yeah, it got bad. It got bad, and that's why it's like I'm pretty sure I think he went and he claimed mentally unstable.
Yeah, because I believe he is like in a state-run hospital because they found him unfit to stand trial.
Yeah, basically, and I believe it.
He's an old man.
Yeah, he's old. So, hey, drugs, partying, and porn will probably do something for you after years and years. How many years was he?
He was a star from the 70s.
70s, and how old did he get?
Yeah.
He was still doing stuff, I feel, when he was like old and. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a weird situation because it's like, how do you warn people? Like, how do you raise the flag? Be like, this is not a safe environment, but still, like, like,
Still in it?
well, but it's
Still
like,
participate?
yeah, well, it's not even just still participating. It's just like with the having POV situation. It's like everyone, obviously, dude was in the wrong. Like, dude was,
He was in the wrong. He was doing some sick stuff.
yeah, he was in this,
And it made me mad because when these other girls were telling me their stories, now I'm like, I'm extreme. I'm
Right.
extreme. I can handle a lot of stuff. And these girls couldn't. But because he got away with doing such extreme stuff to me, he did it to these other girls. And that's what hurt my feelings. That's what really like hurt, because I was like, that sucks. Like, I'm sorry that he thought that he could do that to you and you had to deal with that, because that's something that I, used to love to do. But that was like, when I had just got clean off ketamine and stuff like that. So I told him specifically what he needed to do and what not to do, and he still did it anyways.
Oof.
And
Sorry.
so I'm glad that he's out of the industry. I do still worry about his girlfriend.
I mean, I thought he was back.
He's trying.
Well, and that's unfortunately one of the problems with the industry is the industry has a short fucking memory.
They do. They have a short memory because there's new people every day,
Right.
that are starting to get into porn and watch porn and stuff like that. And these people don't care about our well-being. They care about their nut.
For sure. But even with like, female performers, there's, so many people that come in new every fucking day.
Yeah, definitely.
That don't know the history, and they're like, their research consists of like, I go to the web. Oh, this person has a lot of scenes. This person's worked with a lot of people.
There's a lot of clout chasers, and
well, it's not even just the clout chase. It's just like, oh, they just come to the logical fallacy of,
exactly.
They must be okay. They worked with all these people.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I tell people. Like, that's the first thing I tell people, and I say, like, hey, if somebody refers me, ask me. All right? Because somebody could refer me and I may have made them think that, oh, it was great. It was fine and dandy. But I'm going to say that to them because I'm going to get out of there with my content and everything that I,
your content, your check
that I need. And I'm never going to see him again. You know what I mean? I got nothing to say to him, but we're going to have that conversation. We're going to have that closed doors conversation about how I really feel about what went down.
Honestly, people should be checking, like, did you shoot for them twice?
Exactly. That's a great, yeah.
It's like, oh, did this person come on here multiple times? Like, because anyone can make it through once.
This is true. I am, and that's what it was. It was he thought that we were cool. Of course, he thought we were cool, and it actually wasn't. It wasn't him putting his hands on me that made me snap. It was actually him asking me for pictures of my daughter, and
what the fuck?
It was sick. And I went through the shit, and I got out of there. And when he was trying to withhold my content, that's when I was like, no, we ain't doing this.
So, if he hadn't withheld your content, how would it have gone down?
Well, I was telling girls. I was telling girls. I don't think I would have blasted it out as I would have. But then that page was made, like, right after I blasted it, and then that was when more people were coming out, and I'm like, well, hey, he's actually a problem. He's an abuser, and me having a daughter, I can't let somebody like that.
It's just fucked to like ask about your fucking.
Yeah,
daughter.
it's fucking. It was sick. I was sick, and to be honest, it was funny because when he hit me, because I told him not to touch my face, and when he hit me, and he kept hitting me, I started crying, and he was like, "Oh, did I hurt you?" Because me, I already know that's what you want to hear. You want to hear me say that you hurt me. You know what I mean? But I was like, I was mad, and me being from Florida, and I told you, I was like, I used to fight. So I was like, no, I'm holding back my fist from your face right now. Because that's why I was crying. I was literally about to hit him. And then, who knows what would have happened. He could have went and got that gun. He could have went and did anything. See, that is exactly why, there's certain things that I want to teach these girls. Hey, like, there's a safe way in order to exit. This is my number. You know what I mean? If you go somewhere, give me your location. You know what I mean? Like, have my number right on speed dial. So I like to provide that service for people.
Well, and after this week, I've seen a lot of performers. Once again, we've alluded to this earlier in the show, but like this week has been a wild fucking week in the industry. Like,
Definitely.
there's one performer out of Florida who was caught faking tests.
Yeah, I don't really know who that was specifically, but I definitely saw that kind of floating around.
Like, there's a dude faking tests, and then there is a male performer who attacked another male performer.
Fight. Yeah, that one I saw.
Over just bullshit. And
which is the stupidest thing in this type of industry, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's mental instability is what that is. It's not even stupid. It's just, that's mental illness.
That's one of the biggest things is like, we need some type of way where we can start mentally like checking these people that come in this industry. Like, and that's one of my things in my contract is one of my things like required for my girls is you have to have counseling. You have to get counseling. You are due to random drug tests if I believe that you are doing drugs, and it's
But what drugs are you testing for?
Well, the things that you can test for.
But yeah, but are you going to disqualify someone for weed?
Of course not. Of course not, because that's the thing that a lot of people do because of their mental health,
or just because they like it.
I personally, in a sense, I feel like they wouldn't like it necessarily if their body didn't ask them to do it.
As someone who doesn't consume THC at all, sure.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those wild things of like cocaine burns out of your body in like under 24 hours.
Because I'm not gonna lie, like I do my ketamine lozenges. And I do smoke my weed. I don't really smoke per se, but I do my dabs, my concentrates now. Yeah. But eventually I do want to be completely sober, and I do intend to get there.
But why? Why raw dog life?
Because that's strength to me. That's mental strength to me.
Okay.
And my mind is such a strong thing. My mind, I love acid. And even acid, I will have to stop doing acid and shrooms and everything because I want to know that and I'm not saying forever. You know what I mean? I'm not saying forever, but I want to get to that point where I want to experience that because it's been a long time. And I do believe that with meditation and yoga, you can get that high. That's what, Krishna consciousness kind of teaches you.
See, personally, I think it's just like, if people are doing it in moderation, recreational.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Because as long as it's not like taking over your life and harming other people, fucking.
Well, again, if we can have alcohol and tobacco legal, we should be able to have weed legal. You know what I mean? We should have, like, at the end of the day, everybody has their vice. So which is why I don't judge anybody. Because I've done lots of things. I've done everything. I'm that type of person who's like, oh, I've never tried this before. Let me try it. I'm that type of person. I want to know that I don't want to do it. Okay. I don't want to be given something or being offered something in like a low point in my life and be like, oh, let me just try this because, I want it, and then I end up like getting addicted to it. I want to try it first. I like when I can, I feel, and then be like, hey, I'm never going to do this again. My favorite drug, believe it or not, is heroin. What? It is heroin, which is why I will never touch that fucking drug.
Opiates are wildly addictive. It's kind of their jam.
They're very highly addictive, and people do their kratom and their Suboxones and their pain pills and different things, and they're the same thing. It's opiates. It's opiates. The pharmaceuticals, I believe, are just legal drugs. They just want to make money off of them.
Oh, for sure, 100%. The oxy situation with most of America was very much proof of that.
Yeah.
I don't think we should ever have drug testing in the industry. I think productions should be like, hey, you can't handle your high. You're
Yeah, well, you definitely shouldn't be doing it on set.
Well, definitely not. But if you're a detriment to the business because you can't, because you're an addict.
Yeah. Well, that's why, because I'm not a production company, but I am a life coach and a mentor. I would say like I'm teaching these girls how to manage themselves. But if me being who I am and me doing what I do for a living, and for schoolwork, I personally can't have that affect me in any way or form.
Fair enough.
And so it's something where it's like, okay, well now if it's now you're very obvious with it and it's showing me it's being detrimental, yeah, I will drug test you.
And what happens if they fail the drug test?
Then the contract will decease. That and if I do anything wrongdoing to them, those are the ways to break the contract.
Well, what's considered wrong on your end?
I don't know, me being mean or
Whoa, mean's very subjective.
I know, but I'm not a mean person. I can be mean. I can be mean.
Oh, I'm sure.
And that's why it's on there.
You said yourself you got hands.
Because but that too. Like if I put my hands on you, there's just different things. Because these girls try me. These girls definitely try me, and they man, it's hard. But yeah, there's certain things where it's like, hey, if I make you feel uncomfortable or something like that, you can get out.
I mean, that's kind of wild because like that could be such a spur of the moment thing. Like you could make me uncomfortable in the moment, and we could come back together from that. Like this is true. That's a wild stipulation to be flat out of a contract. And like someone could easily be like, you made me uncomfortable, I want out, and just use that as an excuse to get out.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they're a loss.
Fair.
So it doesn't hurt me. At the end of the day, comfortability for these girls is the main priority. And I think that's what people have lost sight in. And hey, if it affects you the wrong way and it makes you lose a little bit of money, so well. Oh well.
So why even bother having actual written contracts at that point?
Because I'm trying to be official.
Verbal agreements are official.
Be official. But yeah, no, it's so these girls can kind of read like, hey, this is what I'm providing. This is what you're walking into. You know what I mean? So
by the contract, what are you providing?
So I am providing, like I said, mentorship. I help get these girls bookings. I take them to Exotica. I'll have my booth. They can get, and then a lot of these girls are just getting started. I do have some that have been in it. So they'll have their first booth time, and I'll let them be like, hey, I'm at the shoe house. I'm dealing with stuff at the shoe house, so y'all got it. Like y'all can just handle the booth. Y'all got it. This is your day. It's my day off. So I let them do that. Then they're at the shoe house. They have to attend, some of my events regularly. They have to. I want to say, if I'm managing their stuff, because I won't provide it for everybody, because some girls, like to do their own stuff. And me, I hate it. But if they need me to, I will take a percentage off of that. Obviously, I'll take a percentage from, getting them bookings and stuff like that. I help them with, regular life stuff. I help them get into college. They need to go to college. I help them fix their credit, just different things.
Cool. All right. Well, getting the bookings, that's more of an agency role.
Yeah, and it is. And that's kind of like what I do. I have a huge network, and I don't mind sharing it. You know what I mean? There's plenty of money to go around. So
have you gone through and like gotten the license and the bond to be an agent, or?
Yeah. So I'm working on that right now. I don't have any girls signed yet, but I will. I help girls now for free, and it's just been finally like I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, it's time to finally get there. So I'm making money, and it's like circling because I'm I'm at the point where I'm trying to, kind of like go all in and then get out. So I won't like be out of the industry, but I'll be
Just
kind of,
firmly behind the camera.
I'll probably just go to like girl and fetish. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop really the boy girl stuff. And maybe even the girl, you know? I'm very big on energy transference. So
You feel like every scene you work is some sort of energy transference?
oh, of course. I mean, you're having sex.
I personally have had some sex with some people that there was nothing transferred besides maybe an orgasm, but like
Yeah. That's what you think.
that's what I feel.
But you definitely got some of their energy. You were inside them.
I was, and I don't remember their names in some cases. So.
That's hilarious.
Probably not to them.
But the energy probably does.
Yeah. I've been a slut sometimes. So it's happened.
Yeah. Do you know the amount of number?
I have no clue.
Okay, so then you're a fucking huge slut.
Yeah, I have zero.
You're like my grade slut. I don't know.
Hey,
I'm pretty slutty.
You probably have a better idea because there's paperwork on a bunch of yours. I have no paperwork.
I have no idea. It's just crazy because actually my first husband would slut me out, and that was his thing. So it wasn't until I started sex work that I really kind of knew, hey, like I can, kind of dictate this myself. And that's why, anybody could call me any name in the book. They can call me a hoe, they can call me a slut, whatever. And I will happily be like, yes, I am that, because that is what freed me.
Society as a whole wants to shit on sex work because sex work is one of the jobs that really allow women upward mobility in society financially.
Yep. But it's, like I said, it's been here for a long time, and y'all are fucking hypocrites. Y'all know damn well that y'all are probably, watching porn or, doing certain things that you are saying that you don't want to happen.
Well, my theory on this is sex work is only a problem for the middle class.
Yeah.
Because, like, we all know the rich motherfuckers are definitely making use of sex workers.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, 100%.
And then the really impoverished are making use of sex workers at the street level. Those are the people that, like, take advantage of street workers, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's a sad state of affairs for everyone involved because it's like, oh, you're so overworked, you are just trying to survive.
Yeah, so now let me help you just survive, regardless of the conditions.
Yeah, and those people are like, I just want to get my nut. Like, I don't care if it's unsafe. I don't care if I'm going to face legal repercussions.
My first, because I was in Miami. I was in Miami and I was picked up by a pimp and I was sex trafficked. And so for me to leave, I got the shit beat out of me, really.
It's not too traumatic. Like, how did that happen?
So I actually left. I left because it was his bottom's birthday. And
how'd you get in the situation? Like,
so I left home. I told you I left home. I went to go get clean. The only reason why I went to Miami is because there was a guy that I met at a festival, and he was selling these like weed pops. And I wanted to, start selling and helping. And so he gave me a badge, and I live in, Alachua, Florida. It was right next to Gainesville, Florida, college town. So I was booming him. And he was in Miami and was like, hey, come down here and I'll, we can work and all this stuff. And I had to make my way down there. I went to Sunset Music Festival. I ended up like meeting one of the like owners outside because he was like selling some like remainder tickets. And he was like, hey, if you sell one of these tickets, I'll give you one for free VIP. And, he took me to get some food, and we fucked, whatever. I get in.
You fucked whatever? Like, here's a cheeseburger in my dick. What? How's that go
basically.
down?
I mean, because that's what I was. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm very submissive. And so me, like, if a guy asked me to put out, I had to. I didn't know. I had a choice.
I hope that's gotten better.
And no, of course.
I don't want to assume.
But that's that's what sex work did for me, is to regain that power. And that's why, people could shit on sex work all they want, but it helps people. It definitely has helped lots of people and changed lots of lives. And that's why I sit here and I'm still in it, and I sit here and help because, hey, utilize this time. You don't have to be in it forever. If you want to do this, then do it and do it right. Because you can get some more abuse in here if you don't do it right.
100%. Yeah.
Trauma, everything.
Yeah. It can be an amazing place because, like, as I said earlier, there's so much upward mobility that can come from it.
Mm-hmm. It'll eat you up.
Oh yeah, and that's the other flip side. It definitely can eat you alive, especially in the industry. There's no porn 101.
So and it was cool. So Sunday was it's called Sunday Fair. And
Casey's a friend.
Yeah, so they do the little workshop, and it's cool because that's something that I've wanted to do in the industry for a long time, and now that they're finally doing it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come, and I telling her, hey, I can do yoga with these girls, teach meditation, like we can do lots of stuff. I do vending. I actually go and vend at shows, and I have lots of like little cool things to kind of reach into people's inner child. And that's one of my biggest things is like, hey, we were pushed to grow up so fast, and we may have gone through a lot of stuff in our childhood, and it was taken away from us. And it's okay to remember some of those times, those good times. And if that's, your old favorite toy, if that's your favorite baseball card or Dragon Ball Z, what, just whatever it is, like I have that stuff available for people, that if they want it or they see something they like or it gives them some nostalgia, hey, spend your money here because, I'd rather you spend your money here than going to get some drugs that are probably not clean. Just different things. I would rather you, and especially in the industry, because I was in the music industry, the EDM industry before I came into the adult industry. And so, I tell them, I'm like, hey, like, why are we having just like parties or after parties and just doing drugs and just doing nothing? Why don't we actually even like utilize the drugs? Like if y'all are gonna get high together and make art or come up with some plans or, just do something. So that's when I ended up creating a wife is when I thought of it. And to have just like a safe space in Gainesville, because that's where I was first sex trafficked at. And me and my friend, we were both sex trafficked, and that's where we met. And so we decided to come up with a safe space for people that if you need somewhere to go at night, so you're not pushed into, hey, I want to hang out with this boy because I want to, get some weed maybe, or, just different things. So I'm excited for these next few months because things are going to go down.
What's going down in the next couple of months?
I'm actually moving out to Vegas, and me and my friend, and he's from Gainesville. Me and my friend, we are going to actually open up a little like porn house type TV show.
All right.
Where it's kind of like he's gonna be kind of like the dad, I'm gonna be the mom, and we're gonna have these like these porn girls. They don't have to be newbies. We'll do like applications and stuff like that. But what I want to do is kind of like implement, this is how you can kind of have a healthy model house. Because all of these houses that they have, all these TV shows is about, drama and all these negative things. And I really would like to kind of show that there is a possibility that, hey, like we can do this the right way. Yeah, there will still be some drama. Yeah, of course, because there always is.
You can't have people in this industry without drama.
Yeah, exactly. But like, hey, like we're going to implement like, hey, we got to do yoga every morning and we got to, eat breakfast. And I'm just helping these girls like, because a lot of these girls, they kind of need some structure in their life.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, and that's why the agencies have thrived over the years. Because there are some people that have their head completely bolted on straight and like, they don't need a fucking agent. Like they're going to show up for every booking. They're going to fucking promote themselves. They're going to do the thing. There are other people they definitely need the guidance. They definitely need someone being like, you have to be here at this time. Get fucking tested before you go.
It took me a long time to like realize that the reason why I didn't like have a manager or like need a manager, because I've asked people like, hey, like, will you manage me? Oh, but you're doing such a good job. You do it so well by yourself. And I hate that. Cause like I'm just like, yeah, I know. And I have so much like all my stuff is like filled up to here and I like can't breathe and I would love it if you gave me some help. But yeah, like it sucks. It sucks and it's good. I like that I can handle my own stuff, but at the same time, that's why I am looking for management. Just because now I'm finally comfortable with being able to do that and know enough to where I'm like, hey, you know, I trust you to kind of help me. So.
Well, and every successful person has a team around them.
Exactly. Support system is huge.
Well, support system, and just at the end of the day, the people out there don't realize how much fucking work goes into like all of this. And you only have so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
No matter how productive you are, some shit falls by the wayside if you don't have a team around you to help you cover some of it.
So this is the thing, like, and this is what I was talking to my friend about. Like, really, like, once you get that cue figured out, you're straight. Once you get that cue figured out, you're straight. But if you're just you're doing everything like right then and there, that's when you're gonna fall behind. That's when you're not gonna get consistent. And once you lose consistency, now people are like, we're not interested. You know what I mean? They don't want to. They don't want something coming out of their check every month. You know what I mean? But hey, they people. I love people's porn addiction sometimes.
I mean, it's what makes a lot of people's finances go round.
Definitely. I don't know. Like I don't do as well as I used to. I'm just now that I'm getting back into it. But it's picking up fast. I'm proud of myself.
Why do you think you're not doing as well as you used to?
Well, because I took my break, and you know I was pregnant. I just had I have a 10-month-old, so I wasn't posting any. I actually started Gia Lov3ly being pregnant, and people were like, "Why no?" Like, oh, they were mad. They were mad that I wasn't doing pregnant content, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not." This is my break.
But you have done some pregnancy content in the past, right?
Yeah, I did. I started pregnant, and then I want to say I did 2 or 3 scenes during that time. So yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it got my bills paid. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's all that's important sometimes.
I was actually living in Peaceful Paths. That's a domestic violence center, and nobody would hire me because I was already showing so much, and so yeah, I got roped into porn, and I actually delivered, had my baby, and then went to XBiz. So XBiz was my first time going, not pregnant to something, and I actually ended up having this like huge gangbang scene, orgy scene, or whatever with someone, and that's something that I was roped into. They kind of took advantage of me, but I was roped into that. I did that, and then that made me blow. Then producers, wanted to grab me and stuff like that, and so so it's a love hate thing. See, at the end of the day, yeah, it was a shitty experience at that time. I but at the same time, look at the good hand. It made me money and it got me on on my feet.
I mean, that's fucking important.
It is. But there, at the end of the day, there's always good and bad. There's always light and dark, which is why I appreciate the darkness. Because if we didn't have the darkness, we wouldn't have the light.
100%.
We wouldn't even know how to appreciate the light if we didn't know how to hate the dark sometimes. I guess I like the darkness. People are like, how could you be so like, I don't know. I trick people. I really do. Because I am a very bright light in the darkness.
Yeah, I mean, that's, as I said at the beginning of the show, an admirable fucking quality.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Because it's so easy to fucking,
Thank
you know,
you.
just slide into the negativity and just be like, world's fucked. I
Yeah.
fall into that shit all the time. So
No, a lot of people do. A lot of people do, and I think that's what pushes me to continue further is because I was given that strength. And there's lots of people with that strength. There's lots of people that do that. But I joined that team when I started realizing like, hey, not a lot of people, not a lot of people are like you, and don't take it for granted.
good on you for that shit. Good on you.
Thank you.
And it's industry's a wild place at times. It's you know, it's crazy. You just showed up at fucking Expos and you're like, oh yeah, gangbang. Like,
So what happened was, it was with like Richard Mann and that crew, the BBC Titans or whatever. And I just did a photo shoot with Vicky Verona. And so she was like, "Hey, Richard Mann's looking for some girls to shoot. Do you want to shoot?" And I did. I was like, "Yeah, I want to, because I want my first one to be with a well-known porn star." And so we were supposed to have our shoot after she had her little orgy. Well, somehow in the middle of all of that, they were like, "Oh, you should do this with her." This being my first like scene, like back, I'm thinking, "Oh, well, don't be a bitch now and fucking bitch out. Don't be that girl, because then they're gonna never want to work with you again," and just a whole bunch of stuff. And so I did it. And yeah, so that's how it happened. That's kind of things that were it happens. And it doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter if you just got in or not. It's all about, I want to say, girls' mental and just like where they're at as far as like trauma and stuff. Because it's people feed off that. There's lots of people out there that feed off that.
unfortunately, yeah. And it is one of the downsides of the biz. Like, one of the nicest people I know, one of the nicest directors I know, like, I consider this dude a good guy. Once said, like, we're an exploitative business. Like, him saying that was just like, really?
Yeah. We are.
Well, and that's the reality of the situation. Like, he was not wrong.
No,
It's just
not at all.
wild to say out loud at times.
It is, but that's what we need to start doing. Because when we all start talking about it, then it's gonna matter. So.
Yeah, but can we change that?
I believe we can, which is why I
But
continue.
how?
I continue to do what I do. Like I said, we got to start by ourselves. Hey, I got to be this example, or I gotta start doing this way. I think we do need some kind of like other union in this industry. I'm actually, I want to say it was like $8,000. It's expensive, but there's some way that I could be a part of the union and start helping with like the change. And that's something that, hey, like if I need to do that in order to be that, because they're obviously not grabbing me because of my tattoos or my different color every week in my hair or something. So if I gotta pay my way in there to start making a change, I will. But yeah, doing the Sunday fair party. Hey, we had a whole swap meet. They had a bonfire. An Easter egg hunt. So it was cool. It was cool.
Casey's killing it with fair. Absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Like, that is definitely a force for good in the industry.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then once more people start seeing it, more people are gonna want to replicate it. More people are gonna want to catch on and start doing it. So, and that's why I don't mind. How I said I'm a trendsetter. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? If somebody likes something, if somebody grabs something, I'm proud.
As they say, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
It is. It very much is. And people definitely, because I tend to, if I go out and if I'm out of my house, if you manage to see me out of my house, I'm gonna make you remember me. You know what I mean? Like if it's not by what I'm wearing, it's by how I'm acting, and not in a bad way, but it's something where I'm like, hey, like let me give you the best of me, because I'm not outside all the time. I like to be inside my house.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being memorable.
Yeah, no, not at all. People call me extra sometimes. I probably carry a stuffy with me everywhere I go.
I mean, that just sounds like jealousy or hatred on their part for no good reason. Like,
it's envy.
yeah. Oh, you're extra. Like, fuck off. Like,
You could be my girlfriend. No, it's funny because I actually was watching this podcast the other day. I'm trying to think of what it was. Somebody gave it to me, so I didn't even really look at the name. But it was talking about the fact that in order for you to do everything that you need to do every day, you need to find a replica of yourself. Like you need to replicate yourself at least once in order to actually get everything that you need to do done in the day. And I'm like, well, dang, I wish I could do that.
Same. As of recording, I still have to edit tomorrow's show, the show that's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then, like, the minute I get you out of here, I'm going right into the editing bay.
Hey, I'm about to go to Santa Monica Pier. So I'll smoke a J for you or something. I know you told me you don't smoke, but
Yeah, that would result in me not getting shit done because I would just be.
I'll put it up in the air and be like, too mad.
Yeah, I would be quite fucking unconscious. Me and THC, like, every once in a while I'll indulge, and every time it's just like, I go to sleep now.
It's funny because people they ask me, they're like, what? You do indica like that all the time and you're not ever asleep? And I'm like, no, it's crazy because it's like one of those things like Adderall. If somebody actually needs Adderall, it's not like it doesn't get them speedy. It actually calms them down.
Right, it allows them to focus.
So it's the same thing. Like indica, it's one of those things where it helps me with my my PTSD actually. And so what it does, it actually it affects your memory receptors and it makes you lose memory. So at that point in time, it makes you lose memory and you forget those triggers. So you're not getting triggered at the time of that high. That's basically what it does.
That sounds like a really fucking good thing.
So it's a great thing, and which is why I couldn't sit there and have these people tell me, oh, like when I told you I was, going in and out of jail, it was an abusive relationship with my ex-husband. He was trying to take my kids from me for 5 years. And it's one of those things where at that time, weed wasn't legal, but it was one of those things that I needed because believe it or not, my kids are my triggers. Unfortunately, not all of them, but some of them. And I love them very much, but it's something where I need my weed. I do. And one day I won't need it, but I will happily medicate in this crazy world whenever I need to because that's my right.
It is. Well, and that's why I think it's crazy. Not crazy, but I think it's wild that you're like, I'm trying to move away from all of it. Like just trying to avoid it. Like,
yeah. I am because I want to be able to say that I could. I'm
who are you bragging to though?
I'm proving it to myself.
Okay.
I'm proving it to myself. Because I do want to conquer those things. Like I'm the type of person where like I will literally eat raw crystal of LSD in my mouth. I will eat a whole sheet of gel tabs. I'll do whatever and I will still be as high as if I probably took one because of my mental. And that's why I believe that I personally believe in just anything. And that's why I don't like the medical system and stuff like that because, and a lot of people don't like psychology because until I started taking my psychology classes, I didn't think about being depressed. I didn't think about being bipolar. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have time for that shit. But now that this is something in my head, now I have susceptibility to be these things. So yeah, I want that strength. I want to be able to be a megamind, but a cute one. You think people would still think I was cute with a big head?
I mean, someone's into it.
That's true.
I mean, that's
fetish. That's fetish.
Yeah, that's the way of the world. Like, no matter what you do in this world, somebody
is gonna like that. That's what when I got into fetish, somebody was like, You take your least favorite thing about yourself and you go make money off of it because somebody will want that and somebody will pay a lot of money for that.
Oh yeah, especially if it's something that they can't readily get.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Exactly.
Brazzers is the McDonald's of porn.
They are, and it's funny because I actually was doing my research. The creator of Brazzers went to UF, University of Florida in Gainesville. So I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, I love that school. They just don't take felons. So I kind of screwed myself there.
Well, can you get your record expunged at some point?
I can't. I actually just tried, and because I'm a felon in Florida, it's not a thing. So I'm trying to go to Canada. So I'm talking to the Canada people
Will
today
they take you as a felon?
because no, they don't take felons. So I'm trying to get a pass to go into Canada. You know how much money they want from me to let me go into Canada?
A lot.
$5,000.
That's it. I honestly thought it'd be more.
You thought it would have been more? Really?
Oh, yeah.
My gosh.
I mean, you can't go into Canada if you have a DUI.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, I need to go to Canada. I need to experience Canada.
Yeah, like they will not let you in if you have a DUI. So an actual like went to prison felon, I would have expected to be much fucking more to get in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's I mean, I feel like that's a lot to me. I mean,
it's not an insignificant amount of money.
I'm just sitting here trying to think like, what are y'all doing with $5,000? Like, what are y'all gonna do with my $5,000? It doesn't cost that much money to be able to.
They're gonna roll around naked in it, obviously. Maple syrup in your money. They're just gonna cover themselves in maple syrup and your money and just roll around in it. Doesn't that sound like a fun time?
That sounds terrible. That sounds so fucking awful.
Just dollar bills sticking to you with maple syrup.
I don't even like maple syrup. That was just the worst image in my head.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
Thank you. I'm probably going to be sleeping like dreaming of this. I'm going to be like, fucking A, Matt.
Just wake up screaming, fucking maple syrup. What the fuck? Please don't let this podcast give you PTSD. Please don't. I don't want to contribute to it.
Look, if I do and I don't let my kids have maple syrup, they're going to call you bitches.
Don't give your kids my number. I don't want to speak to your children.
I know, I won't. They're just, it's funny because I bring girls over and I help them and I do whatever. And there's been some girls, there's been some crazy ones. And my oldest is 12. And he'll be like, what is she on? Like, is she okay? Like, do we need to help her? And I'm like, we're helping her. No. And meanwhile, I'm giving them some work to do around the house, whether they're, doing laundry for me or something, because I'm giving them money so they don't have to go do these things that they really don't want to do.
So I'm curious, do you talk to your children about sex work?
I don't talk to them about sex work. I talk to them. They think that they do think that I sell pictures for money and I sell pictures of my feet.
Well, I'm more thinking like the girls that you're bringing around them. Like.
But they just know that I manage and I'm a mentor and I help them. That's basically.
Well, what do they think they do?
They don't think these girls do anything. You know what I mean? Because if they were doing something, they wouldn't be at my house. I wouldn't be paying them to do my laundry or help me with the dinner or something. Something. But my kids do know not to sexualize women. It is something that I've taught them not to do, and they don't care about this stuff. That's something that I was like worried about. But I've made my kids like, ugh. They don't want to see that, and they will eventually. They're boys, So I'm waiting for that day, but that's why there will be that day, and I won't be in it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want that. For them to ever come on my page or see something.
Your content lasts forever.
My content does last forever. Again, like I don't think my kids will ever see it, but
well, hopefully not.
But it is a thing where my kids do know mostly everything about my life because of the fact that I'm very real with them. But just because it's sex and it's not something that I agree to like bring up to my children at this point in time. And one day, they will know. Um, I I don't like to lie to them, but I want them to know that they can tell me anything. I want them to know that we can have a conversation about anything because I don't want to end up having, that kid that ended up, going to go do something and then I um lose him or, he starts doing certain things or drugs or something because, you know, he didn't think that he could tell me something, So my kids can tell me anything, really. And so we have conversations about a lot of stuff, but sex is just not one of them right now. I mean, my kid's in middle school, and they go to a pretty intense school, so it's something he hears about all the
Oh,
time.
I'm sure. Like I was in middle school in the 90s, and there were people in my middle school claiming that they were already fucking.
Yeah, that it is crazy, and people, because I was actually groomed and raped by my oldest brother. Um,
Oh,
I
sorry.
I was always prone to that. You know what I mean? I was always prone to that, and people like always had this like, oh, like she's different. Like, oh, they could kind of feel it on me, and I was always that girl. I was always that girl that people would be like, oh, she's easy. Oh yeah, you can, yeah. But I didn't have sex until I was 14. I want to say was like the first time that I ever like fell in love with someone.
That's still pretty fucking
It
young.
was it was young. It was pretty young. But yeah, it was something where like, I was cutting and trying OD and just different things where I was asking for help. I was asking for help and my parents never gave it to me. They never gave it to me, and that was something where finally when I got locked up, I finally was able to finally able to like address it. And that's why, I'm grateful that I was locked up because it could have been worse. I could have, gone into a way worse position because I was dealing with lots of people and dealing, with lots of things and lots of money. So it could always be worse.
Oh, definitely. I don't think I asked earlier. How old were you when you were locked up?
I was So I got locked up in 2016. It was when I came back from the West Coast because I was out actually living in Venice Beach. Um, and I was a hustler then. But then I was started dealing with like the Shyline Crips and now I'm in a high speed chase. And so I'm like, fuck this, I'm flying out. And I go to San Francisco. And that's when I was living on the hate and living in Golden Gate Park and uh, ended up making enough finally for my first violin. And so I started there and um ended up coming back home. So I want to say it was 2016 when I got locked up. So it's been 8 years. So yeah, I was 26 or 5, 25 or 26. I can't do the math.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, that's so wild.
I was young. I was called Mary Jane because I actually have a. It's crazy now that I'm in psychology. I kind of know like the names of my problems.
Mhm.
I actually have dissociative identity disorder, and I have multiple names. I have multiple personalities, and so it's funny because some people will be like, they'll go to my pages, and sometimes I'll be, Kara. Sometimes I'll be Mary Jane. Sometimes I'll be Gia. Some people just be like, "Who are you today?"
Wow, yeah, wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot. I'm gonna write a book one day, a couple of them.
you should. You have lived many fucking
That's
lives,
the goal, and I have.
and you got many more to go.
Let's knock on wood.
I'm hoping you do. I'm hoping you do.
I mean, I hope this life is long and luscious, but I don't want to come back here. I want this to be my last life, and by making this my last life is I believe um I liberate myself by devoting myself to Krishna, and so I do intend on um eventually devoting myself to Krishna. I'm gonna, go to India. I'm gonna travel. I'm actually my last semester here in Gainesville. I'm gonna go into the Krishna house, and there I gotta serve and do a lot of stuff. So, um, there will be some time that I end up getting there to do what I want to do.
Hell yeah. When are you planning to go to India? Like just as soon as the semester's over? Or?
So I'm actually gonna go to India before I go to Krishna house. My shaman is in India, so I'm gonna go there probably before August, probably like in July. I was trying to go to Canada in June, so
Yeah, that's probably not happening.
we'll see. And that's the thing, because they were like, "This is probably not guaranteed," and I'm like, "Okay, so I'm gonna pay $5K for like a maybe."
Oh yeah,
Oh no,
application fee or some shit.
but that's the thing is like, I need a visa to go into India too.
Yeah, but I don't think India is nearly as restrictive.
Okay,
as
they're
Canada.
not. All right. Whew. I was worried. I was like, no, I'll never get to go to visit Vrindavan and stuff.
So, what else is the plan to do in India?
I'm going to. All right. Should I tell y'all? I think I'm gonna tell y'all because I'm
Please do.
weird. I'm so weird and spontaneous. So my shaman is, and he's been my shaman for a while. He's actually a virgin, and
Are you gonna try banging your shaman?
I am. I am definitely going to try and bang my shaman. I'm not going to try. I know I'm going to.
You, like succeed.
He wants to bang me. He wants to lose virginity to me, and he wants to in exchange.
Is there any theory that this dude's just lying and he's not a virgin?
No. So my partner was like, my partner is definitely very suspicious, but at the end of the day, he can't fight me. I'm gonna do what I want to do anyways. But I don't. So I don't see people. So I see you. Hi.
I do exist.
You do exist.
I do. There's photographic proof and everything.
But I see like auras and colors, and I feel vibes. So I do believe in like feelings, and so like there's times where like I'll feel like don't do this, and that's when you need to listen. And there's times when I don't listen, and I should have listened. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it and take that chance for sure, because I want what he can give me. So if we got a barter, we get a barter. If he wants to lie to me, that's fine too. But I'm getting what I want.
Are you getting what you want first or after?
Oh, first. I'm not one. I ain't stupid. I ain't new to this game.
Like education before pussy, motherfucker.
Exactly. That's the only reason why I'm coming out there. But I'm not even paying for my own flight, so it's even better.
Wow, he must be hyper horny if he's like, I'm flying you to India, educating you just to bang.
My partner is flying me out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my partner's job to fly me out. So I can go fuck somebody else.
Whatever works for your relationship.
I fucking love him. I love him so much, but he aggravates the fuck out of me. He gets it a lot easier on him if he lets me get fucked sometimes, because he doesn't have sex with me. We don't have sex.
Why are you in a sexless partnership?
Because I don't necessarily like care about sex like that. I personally only like to have sex to have children, is basically what I believe. I have sex for work. I don't necessarily get pleasure anymore out of it. I get more pleasure out of the connection with somebody, and I'm more turned on by someone's intellectual mind than like their sexual ability.
But what about his needs?
Well, if he wanted to fuck me, I would let him fuck me.
But he doesn't want to?
He doesn't want to. He's the same way. Like, he literally will give me the whole world, and I haven't even given him a nut.
These are things I can't wrap my brain around.
I can't either, which is why I thought he was up to no good and he was trying to set me up. But he keeps coming back.
How long has this been going
And
on?
I'm just like, yo, are you obsessed with me? He could be obsessed with me. And I would just much rather someone obsessed with me, like, be on my good side and than be on my bad side.
Well, how long have you two been together?
Since December.
Okay, so it's still pretty new.
So it's still pretty new, but he's dealt with a lot and has helped me with a lot. So there's just like, he deserves a lot from me. You know what I mean? Like, and so I'm willing to make it work if it's something that works. If it doesn't work and it gets detrimentally like unstable and enabling, like, then no. But it's going good.
How'd y'all meet?
Really work. I went out to New Jersey and I met him. He was in this like really, really cool car and he was sitting outside his car and I went in to get my phone fixed, but I was like waiting for it to get fixed and I was outside smoking and we started talking. He's goofy. He's like one goofy ass motherfucker. And then he handed me, so what let me tell you what got me. He sent me a dick pic. Okay? And I don't like dick pics.
Does anyone?
But he sent this dick pic with a Sudoku over it. So I'm not looking at the dick pic. I'm looking at the Sudoku, and I thought it was the fucking funniest, sexiest thing in the world. Because I'm like, yeah, fuck your dick pic. I want the Sudoku. And then he gave me, and then he ended up taking me out. And this was after we had like been talking. And he ended up taking me out again, and he handed me a Joker card, and that was him basically asking me out. So I've been with him since then.
So it's like going on 4 months and y'all still have not fucked. Not once.
We have fucked once.
How long into the relationship was this?
The first day.
So you fucked the first day and not once since.
Yeah, basically.
It's so wild.
It is so fucking wild, is it not? And I'm like, I wake up every day and I'm like, yo, this man like still spending like bands on me and isn't asking me to like suck his dick. He's not asking me for this. Like, and it's funny because like I'm the type of person who like I like to get fucked. Like, it is weird. It really is weird. And girls hate this shit. But me, because it was done to me back in the day, this is what I like. This is what I want. So like I want him to fuck me like while I'm asleep. Like I want to wake up to him fucking me, basically. And it's funny because like, and then in the morning, like when I wake up, it's like, all right, now you don't even give me dick. Like, why am I bitching about having no sex? It's supposed to be your job. You know, you're supposed to be bitching about the girl not putting out, but I'm bitching that you're not putting out for me.
He's playing the long game.
But he lets me go, you know, see other people and stuff like that. So
he's playing the long game.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So wild.
He wants to marry me. So
already 4 months
in. We'll see. Yeah, he wants to marry me, and we ended up clicking because he told me what he wanted to do. And I can't.
Yeah, it's all good.
I can't say what he wants to do, but he was like, "You would be perfect for that," and me and him agreed to work together, and we found a common, you know, agreement and something that we both like, and we ended up clicking because of that. And it sucks because I'm going to tell you right now, I just had my kid, and me being who I am and a woman, and it's just natural. I fell in love with the father of my child. And so I've, you know, been in love with him. And now all of a sudden this fucking random guy pops up and I tell him, I'm like, yo, don't do this. I'm not trying to like put you through this, but once you get my love, you get my love. You know what I mean? Like, so he stuck around. He started doing stuff. He actually was like, I'm going to start helping you. So if you do something that like you need to do, I'm going to reward you. And that's actually how we started like getting.
So is he moving to Vegas with you?
He actually owns his own company in New Jersey. He's going to have like his own like room, but no.
All right.
He's going to be in New Jersey. I don't like the cold. I'm not going there.
Well, you're from Florida. That wouldn't make sense for you to like the cold.
No, not at all. It's too cold over here sometimes. Like, I'm about to go on Santa Monica Pier, and I know I'm going to have like 3 coats.
Well, yeah, it's the fucking desert. It gets cold at night. That's what it does.
Yeah, that's why I haven't been to Burning Man.
Fair enough on that shit. That Burning Man is one of those things where, like, years and years ago sounded fun. Now it's just not so much.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing with EDC. I feel like it's just getting ran down and like just getting too like just more people know about it now, and they're just kind of coming in and kind of ruining it.
Yeah, it's too way too
mainstream. Yeah,
too mainstream,
commercial.
too commercialized.
Yeah, definitely.
But I hate to do it, Gia. We've been doing this thing for almost 2 hours.
I know.
I'm gonna call last call on this motherfucker and get you out of here so you can go. Hit
Last
the beer.
call. I get my last drink.
It's in front of you.
I'm almost done with my buble. I didn't even get the second one.
It's okay. I'll end up drinking it. But
Cheers.
before we get you out of here, where can they find you on the things?
On the things?
On the things.
Okay, on the things. So you can find me on Twitter or no X. My V. X. And you can do it at Lovely LLC. And don't forget that my lovelies have a 3. Okay? Not an E and a 3. It's just a 3. So Lovely LLC. You can find me on OnlyFans. I have an OnlyFans. Lovely Gia. OnlyFans.com, Lovely Gia. And then my IG actually was just deleted. So we're missing out on that one.
Hopefully you get it back, or hopefully you get a new one soon.
Yeah, I probably will. It's just so much work. I've gone through so many platforms and things.
Fucking meta.
They know what I'm doing. They just like know that I'm up to no good, and they're like, "Oh, this girl again." Delete. I have something for you. Sticker.
Awesome. I'll take the sticker. As I'm taking the sticker. Until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.